Hey there, my beautiful and lovely gamers. My name is Jonal. Today, when this video goes out, I will be in Germany, and this will also be a test run for what I like to call a correction video. Some people have been requesting these, and essentially it's me talking about a YouTube video where I take out parts or meanings that I think is misrepresentative of the true idea that is going on in the video, like how the game is supposed to be handled. This comes, of course, with my opinion as a coach, and in general, like that. This is not to hate. I believe that majority of all YouTubers, people have been linking me to like, oh, I hate this guy, it's so big. One of the bigger YouTubers, for example, I hate this guy, and I fairly, honestly, I enjoy majority of all content that comes out from a lot of them, and I always find that in a lot of the videos there are really good advice, and there are some bad videos. But if you ever done YouTube, you can't have create a masterpiece every single time and be 100%. If I watch my own videos, I'll also be like, well, that's not 100% right, or that could be formulated in a different way. Anyway, today we are taking a look at this video titled 5 Things Still Wrong with Overwatch. Now I will only break down 3 different points that he makes, because 2 of them is like finally okay or personal opinions. Now, one of the very first thing that he talks about is ulting from spawn.
Number 4.
Being able to ult from spawn. Having an ultimate in Overwatch is one of the staples of the game. Every character has their own abilities, but you use those abilities and you play the game to get your ultimate ability, which is supposed to be the granddaddy of them all, the one that helps your team win the game. You use it to wipe the enemy team, or maybe you just use it to protect yourself or the team surrounding you. But how come Mercy couldn't resurrect her whole team in spawn, and still can't till this day because she was changed? How come it's that way, but every other character can still do their ultimate from spawn? How come Junkrat can send a tire that gets an entire team kill from spawn to the cart or to the point? Why can Bridget rally from spawn so that way the team comes out with armor? And how come Hanzo can send a dragon from spawn, no matter how safe he is or how much people are on the point attacking it?
Now, we start out by talking about Mercy and how she used to be able to rest from spawn mostly on Gibraltar, and you can't do that anymore, and he believes that ulting from spawn with other heroes such as Junkrat and Hanzo and so on shouldn't be allowed as well. It should be blocked, so you can't enter, go out of spawn with ultimates on, you can't trance out of spawn, you can't rally inside spawn, so you can go out with armor, and send dragons out of spawn and so on. He believes that that is a broken mechanics. Now, the reason that ulting from spawn is good. Now, the whole thing with the Mercy thing was it was a really strong ultimate, like a really being able to res people under the point with her old AoE res. The issue was that it wasn't just like a strong ultimate, it was like a guarantee 100% hit. No way you could do anything about it, and it would res the team. She would be completely safe, be able to res the team. The whole idea of that ultimate back then was she would fly in and she would most likely sacrifice herself to res players, right? The other ultimates, the reason that they should be allowed to be fired from spawn is that we're using them mostly to engage. This is a good way to stop spawn campaign. If you actually think about how a spawn is made, it's one tiny choke, right? Meaning it's very easy in theory to trap and use that to attack. Being able to ult from spawn is easier way to break these chokes and easier way to actually contest objective and so on. And it's also a predominant good way for us to build a strategy and a meta around how we want to burn ultimate. So for example, okay, we are down a couple of people, but we will have time to touch and contest the point, so we'll hold on to the dragon grab combo, and then we will go out and the dragon will be sent from spawn if he dies too late, and we will use the dragon. So it's also a way to not make it way too punishing.
Number 3.
D.Va and Zen and the way that they receive the Nano boost. However, what I don't like is the fact that her ultimate can be rendered completely useless if you give it to Zen or to D.Va. Whether it be on purpose or accidentally, there should be no way that her ultimate cannot be utilized whatsoever. As our first example, the reason why it's never good to give it to D.Va is because if she gets it and she loses her mech, she loses the Nano boost altogether, and that's so stupid. Why would she not keep it? If her mech gets destroyed, she should have the remainder of the Nano inside of her regular body. What a waste. This is a little bit more obscure, but I don't think that transcending Zenyatta should even be able to receive the Nano boost. And this bothers me specifically because I've seen a specific post on the forums from a developer, and I think that it's since been deleted because I can't find it, but they talked about making it be so transcending Zenyatta can no longer receive Nano boost. It's just a complete waste, and accidents do happen, but even then, like, if they would just make a beast so the Nano Boost made everything better, it wouldn't be a waste. Zenyatta should not be able to receive Nano Boost when he is transcending. That, or getting the Nano Boost while you're transcending, should make the transcendence better somehow. What you think?
The second point that he's talking about is being able to give Nano to Zen and D.Va. Now, his problems with this essentially is something that if D.Va loses her mech, she loses Nano, or if D.Va re-enters mech, she loses a Nano. And with the Zenyatta, his problem is that he doesn't believe that they should ever be able to give a Nano boost to a Zen that's in the trance. Since when he's in trance, the Zenyatta can't deal damage, he can't receive damage as well since he's invulnerable, and therefore the Nano boost is a waste. Now, the whole idea behind this is, while you can argue if the D.Va should be allowed to get, like, being able to carry the mech, the Nano over from the mech to the body, even though it makes sense that she shouldn't, because you Nano boost the mech itself. It's not like it's carrying through, but then you can also argue, like, how does Nano boost work on a mech? So the whole balancing of that issue is something that can go up for discussion. I believe that she shouldn't, that the way that they're doing it right now is really good. She gets D-mech, it's the same as her dying. If you Nano someone with a 600 HP pool, and she could D-mech with that Nano on, then it most likely was a bad Nano. Right, the same if you were Nanoing your Ryan and your Ryan died with Nano, he lost the Nano, it was a bad Nano. The Zenyatta thing, and in general all of the reasoning for something like Zenyatta, is the flexibility. If you want to Nano the Zenyatta when he comes out of trance, because that's what the situation in the games is the best for, right? Either to make him stay alive longer or whatever. If that is something that you want, you should have the opportunity and the freedom to do that. And a lot of time, let's say that you're about to die as Anna, or you want to Nano him so that he has it when it goes out. You don't want to give it so that he immediately, when he pops out trance, he immediately have the damage reduction. If you want to do that, you should be allowed to do that. It's about the freedom of the game. And in general, having limits on who and what we can use ability on is a good way to limit the possibilities and the options that you have in each game. So now it personally makes the meta, for my opinion, much more boring, make every situation a little bit more boring, every fight a little bit more boring, and way more too streamlined, for my personal opinion.
Number 2.
Cheater Widow on King's Row.
The last one is the one that really grinds my gear. That is what's called Cheater Widow on King's Row, as he likes to say. Now, the Cheater Widow is his way of saying, you all know, first on King's Row, there's that big window that you essentially can stand in a snipe from. He is frustrated that you can stand in that window and then you can go back into your spawn room and then you can grab them back up to the window and then back into the spawn room and so on, so on, so on, so on, so on. And he's frustrated that, you know, you can't dive the widow. She's like in this safe position where no one really can do anything about it, and so on and so on. She can just go back into the spawn and get instantly healed up. And it gives, according to him, as like a power position that you don't have normally. And he thinks that that's a stupid way of doing it. What he has to understand is, and this is, like, as I understand, this guy's platinum, and he clearly doesn't understand 100% how King's Row is built. Because his argument is that if you hold up at the choke, you know, the Widow will have a really good LOS on you, and you won't have that good of an LOS back, right? It will be hard for you to counter the Widow, but the Widow can reach, like, your Genji, but your Genji can never reach the Widow. The whole King's Row is normally not played in the choke. Good players will not hold that far up for exactly that reason. You can hold further back. And normally, the way we deal with Widowmakers is another Widowmaker. It's called Counter Widow. And if my Widow can see yours, then yours can see mine. And that's just how it runs, right? This is not a broken position. Just because of how the position, it gives you straight LOS. And while that can be good from time to time, if you see, I think that most people saw it, the LA Gladiators strategy where they forced the rotation of the enemy team into the Widow, which was standing in spawn. That is a power position, but the whole idea is that, let's say you get hit by a Widowmaker and you decide to drop. That's a long time where your Widowmaker is not in play, where the enemy Widowmaker is in play. So even jumping in and out of the spawn, and you can swapping it between here so you can reset your grappling hook and get back up. It's not a powerful position because your downtime is so huge. And you don't get that strong of a power position since the enemy team can just walk a little bit further back into the choke and fight like they normally would, where they can fight your 5 players and your Widowmaker, who is back in spawn, cannot LOS their tank line, cannot LOS their back line, giving them no pressure, no position. There's a reason that Widowmakers have to move up in this game. And therefore that position is not a very strong position. It doesn't really benefit anything. It's not a broken mechanic that should be fixed. And the fact that, again, that ledge is there due that you can do that rotation thing that the LA Gladiators did, it gives the game more flow, more dynamics, more options, more meta. It's a good position. It's not specifically powerful, but it's one of those things that can, be a fun thing to do. And in higher elos as well, people normally spam that window as soon as it opens, so there's actually, that way itself, it's not something that you can just stand up there. If you have a Zenyatta, whether you have a Hanzo, most of those can suppress or kill the Widowmaker standing up there hard scoping. Now, that's my personal opinion. I will link his video down in the description as always, so if you want to check out the entire video of his, then that is. I think it's a good video. As always, please don't hate or anything like that. We all understand this is his opinions. I think there was a good video. I liked the video. I think it was nice quality and so on. It's just, I disagree with a lot of his opinions, but I would like to hear your down in the comment section. Like the video if you like, and as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. My name has been Jonal. You guys stay positive and keep the enemy in your crosshair.